The drama surrounding Arionne Curry and Martell Holt isn't just another reality TV headline, it's a storm that refuses to pass quietly, one that fans and viewers alike can't seem to ignore. Over the years, their names have become almost synonymous with tension, controversy, and unpredictability. Every time they appear in public together, chaos seems to follow, and lately, that chaos has only intensified. What's different now is Arionne's willingness to step out of the shadows, to speak her mind, and to challenge the expectations placed on her by both the cast and the audience. She's no longer content to be a background figure or a side note in Martell's life. Instead, she's claiming her place under the spotlight, sending messages that feel less like harmless gossip and more like deliberate, calculated statements that promise a reckoning. Fans are captivated, glued to their screens, because every word she posts and every appearance she makes carries weight, signaling that something is about to change in a way that could shake the foundations of love and marriage Huntsville. The story took a particularly dramatic turn during a tense courtroom appearance that quickly went viral. In that room, with whispers bouncing off the walls and cameras capturing every detail, Arionne sat confidently beside Martell. The image of her in that setting ignited the internet. Some viewers immediately focused on her appearance, throwing out judgments and criticisms, while others looked deeper, recognizing the image as a bold statement, a clear assertion that she was present, visible, and unapologetically unafraid to occupy a space where many assumed she would never appear. After years of being dismissed as the other woman or relegated to the background, Arionne's presence alone sent a message that she was still standing with Martell, regardless of what the world or the fans thought of their relationship. Loyalty or delusion, that depends on who you ask. But either way, Arionne had ensured that her name was back in the conversation, forcing viewers, commentators, and even critics to reckon with her presence and her influence. If the courtroom photo wasn't enough, Arionne amplified the drama by taking to Instagram with posts dripping in defiance and boldness. One caption in particular drew widespread attention. "I love when people find out I meant every word I said." It wasn't simply commentary, it was a challenge, a provocation aimed squarely at anyone who had doubted her in the past. In another post, she wrote, "I don't charge nothing to the game, just wait, I got something for your ass." Fans immediately began dissecting every word, every syllable, speculating on what it could possibly mean. Was she hinting at a secret marriage with Martell, something the cameras had never caught? Or was she preparing to announce another pregnancy, shocking the fan base? Or perhaps this so-called twist was a direct message to Melody Sheree, a way to reignite one of the most bitter rivalries reality TV has ever seen. The uncertainty only heightened the intrigue, and Arionne's cryptic words left the fanbase on edge, eager to decode her next move. Meanwhile, Martell Holt himself hasn't made things any clearer. He's been spotted publicly referring to Arionne as his fiancée, yet there's no documentation or official confirmation to back up those claims. For some fans, this is proof that he's serious and that a real commitment is on the horizon. For others, it's just another example of Martell's masterful manipulation, a smoke and mirrors strategy designed to keep Arionne anchored in his orbit, dangling the promise of a future that may never materialize. The ambiguity is deliberate, and it plays perfectly into the narrative of control and uncertainty that have defined their relationship for years. On top of that, every time Arionne's name is mentioned on Love and Marriage Huntsville, she profits financially. She doesn't need to appear on camera constantly or dominate every scene. Simply being a part of the conversation ensures that she remains relevant and financially rewarded, a form of power that's often underestimated in the world of reality television. Behind the scenes, executive producer Carlos King has also weighed in on the situation, offering insights that cut through the fan speculation. During a live chat, he made it clear that he doesn't believe Martell has any true intention of marrying Arionne. According to Carlos, Martell's public talk of engagement is little more than lip service, a performance designed to appear serious without the commitment to back it up. And when you examine Martell's actions over the years, Carlos's perspective starts to make sense. Martell has consistently mastered the art of dangling hope, promising rings, hinting at weddings, creating the illusion of stability, while delivering nothing tangible. Meanwhile, Arionne continues to hold fast to her loyalty, perhaps hoping that her dedication will eventually be rewarded. Fans watching this dynamic unfold can clearly see the patterns of hesitation, manipulation, and imbalance, making the story far more compelling than simple gossip.
The divide among viewers is striking. On one side, some see Arionne as a woman ensnared in Martel's web, sacrificing her dignity and independence for scraps of attention and vague promises. On the other, there are those who admire her strategic approach, recognizing her as someone who understands the power of influence and notoriety in the reality TV landscape. Every time her name is brought up on the show, she profits and maintains relevance without needing to hold a contract or dominate screen time. She has turned herself into a key piece of the show's currency, leveraging presence and influence in a way that most cast members struggle to achieve. Yet even with this kind of leverage, the imbalance in her relationship with Martel is hard to ignore. He has never positioned her as an equal partner. He parades her when convenient, hides her when convenient, and strategically uses her presence to stir tension with other cast members, particularly Melody Sheree. The contrast between Arionne and Melody couldn't be more striking. Since stepping away from the chaos surrounding Martel, Melody has flourished. Her businesses thrive, her public image is polished, and her confidence radiates in every appearance. She embodies independence and empowerment, a stark counterpoint to Arionne, who remains tethered to Martel and the unpredictability of his behavior. This dynamic is painful to watch for fans, as it highlights two very different choices in navigating relationships and personal agency. One woman choosing to step into her power, the other entangled in a cycle of promises and mixed messages. The ongoing comparison only intensifies interest in the drama and fuels speculation about the consequences of Arionne's next moves. The involvement of other cast members adds additional layers of intrigue. The Scotts, for example, are never ones to miss an opportunity to weigh in on the drama. Their commentary, side-eyed jokes, and observations about Martel's struggles serve multiple purposes. They entertain, they divert attention from their own controversies, and they subtly shift audience perceptions of Martel's credibility. Every quip, every pointed remark reinforces the perception that Martel's control and image are slipping, not just with fans, but among his peers on the show. This creates a delicate balancing act for Martel, as his public persona clashes with Arionne's rising visibility and influence, further complicating the narrative for both viewers and producers alike. Speculation over Arionne's upcoming plot twist continues to grow with each passing week. Fans theorize endlessly, considering possibilities ranging from personal milestones like a pregnancy or engagement to strategic moves aimed directly at Melody Sheree, potentially reigniting old rivalries. The implications of these actions could be monumental. A personal announcement might generate headlines but remain relatively contained. A public confrontation targeting Melody, however, could set off a chain reaction, forcing other cast members to take sides and reshaping the dynamics of the entire series. In this sense, Arionne's unpredictability is her greatest weapon, making her dangerous in ways that Martel may not even fully comprehend. For years, Martel carefully managed the balance between keeping Arionne in the shadows and maintaining his public image. But that delicate equilibrium appears to be collapsing as Arionne asserts herself more aggressively than ever before. Whether this shift is strategic or reckless is unclear, but the stage is undeniably set for a revelation that could have far-reaching consequences for both the cast and the show alike. Fans are left with a host of questions. Does Martel plan to offer the stability Arionne has longed for? Or is he stringing her along to maintain control? Will Arionne's cryptic warnings culminate in a public spectacle, or are they just social media bravado? And crucially, how will Melody and other cast members respond when the twist finally unfolds? At the core of this drama is a fundamental truth about reality television: visibility equals power. Arionne has leveraged persistence, audacity, and timing to insert herself into the center of the narrative, transforming from a dismissed background figure into a central character whose every move is watched and analyzed. Martell, willingly or not, has tethered his image to hers, creating a dynamic in which both parties' reputations and credibility are intertwined. Melody's success, in contrast, underscores what happens when independence and self-determination take priority, illustrating the stark contrast between empowerment and dependence within the context of the show. The drama continues to intensify as fans debate, theorize, and speculate across social media platforms. Every Instagram post, every appearance, every comment becomes part of a larger narrative that feeds both attention and relevance. Arionne's ability to monetize this infamy, whether intentionally or not, is a testament to her understanding of the mechanics of reality TV influence. Critics, too, play a role, keeping her in the conversation and ensuring that she remains an essential part of the story, whether they mean to or not. The strategy, whether conscious or organic, highlights a new form of power in entertainment, one not derived from contracts or screen time, but from perception, relevance, and the ability to control attention.
Behind the cameras, producers like Carlos King also have a stake in shaping the narrative. By framing Martell's fiancé talk as performative rather than genuine, Carlos maintains control over audience expectations, preventing cycles of disappointment and disillusionment from dominating the show's storyline. Instead, he allows the real tension to emerge organically through the interactions and decisions of the cast. This creates a layered narrative in which Martell's image struggles against Arionne's growing assertiveness, Melody's independent success, and the unpredictable commentary of other cast members like the Scotts. The result is a complex, multifaceted drama that captivates audiences and drives conversation week after week. However, Arionne Curry didn't arrive here overnight. Before the flashing cameras and the endless social media speculation, she was simply a woman with dreams, scars, and hope. Growing up, she navigated narrow halls of judgment, hearing the quiet but persistent voices telling her she wasn't enough, not pretty enough, not powerful enough, not worthy enough. Like so many of us, she carried those doubts into adulthood, wondering if her voice would ever matter. She tried to build something real, seeking relationships with people who would see her for who she truly was, not as a prop for someone else's story or a tool to boost another's image. She believed in loyalty, in being seen and acknowledged, and yet every time she extended that trust, she was cut. Every time she invested in someone else's promise, she was left holding an empty space. When she first entered the realm of reality TV and high-profile associations, Arionne hoped the spotlight would reveal authenticity rather than illusions. But the lights also reflected shadows. The deeper she went into that world, the more she discovered hidden lines, backstage deals, and whispered rules she had never known. She watched others align, betray, and reposition themselves. She realized that reputations were not only built by what you did, but also by what you withheld. And she learned that people could speak in public with calm authority while breaking hearts in private. She had to learn to walk on volcanic ground, where one misstep could make everything explode. Over time, the cost of silence became unbearable. Anxiety, heartbreak, self-doubt, they mounted. To survive and reclaim her identity, Arionne knew she had to stop pretending. She had to stop glossing over the pain and hiding the truth. She had to fight not just for her name, but for her dignity. Every day she remained silent was another day she was told she didn't matter. When Arionne first hinted that something big was coming, many dismissed it as hype, but those who knew her history understood that she was on the edge of release. The accumulation of every slight, every broken promise, every instance of gaslighting was about to become evidence, and she wasn't letting anyone leave unaccounted. It started with a post, a seemingly casual caption that read, "You didn't expect me to let that slide, did you?" Within minutes, screenshots were circulating. Fans asked, "What's coming? Who's she talking about?" Then came the follow-up. "I don't charge nothing to the game. Wait till the final chapter." Some called it hype, others called it threatening.
But what followed was neither. It was weaponized truth. First, she released a short video clip, her voice trembling yet firm. "I'm tired of being the punchline. I'm tired of hearing your side of the story without a fight." No names were mentioned, but everyone immediately wondered whose side she was referring to. The suspense was electric. Next came screenshots of text messages, not full conversations, but selected lines hinting at betrayal and double lives. A name here, an alias there. Fans connected dots, overanalyzing timestamps and digging through archives. Arionne followed up with longer posts, threading receipts and screenshots layered over each other, cropped just enough to make people guess. Her captions left no doubt. "I warned you. You never really knew me. Now you'll see what I meant." Some tried to block her, some begged her to stop, but she doubled down. Then came the twist nobody predicted. Some of those messages weren't from lovers. They were from people she considered family in the industry, people she trusted with her career, collaborators who promised support that never materialized, mentors who disappeared at key moments. She exposed meeting requests that went unanswered, whispers of backstage promises that never came to fruition, and rumors spread to silence her before she could speak. Amid all this, she hinted at one key player who had recorded private conversations, recordings she now had access to. Her warning stung. "You recorded me. You thought I didn't know. Now I hold those moments." As the scandal unfolded, alliances cracked. Friends who once praised her now posted vague messages, offering support publicly while privately begging her to reconsider. Some denied allegations outright, others offered half-hearted apologies. The comment sections erupted. Who was she targeting? Was it someone she dated, a producer, a manager, or a fellow cast member whose name could cause major fallout if revealed? Then came the responses from those being called out. Carefully worded denials, claims that screenshots had been doctored, accusations that Arionne was seeking attention. Some pleaded for privacy, others threatened legal action. But Arionne refused to back down. She posted again, "If this goes to court, the truth wins, and the truth is all on my side."
She shared a recorded voice note where someone apologized profusely. The tone was defensive, the shame audible. She captioned it bluntly, "You sound like the one who betrayed." The situation escalated rapidly. Interviews were requested, podcasts sought her insight, fans even raised money for her legal fees. Media outlets speculated about who might pay for exclusive coverage next. Everyone wanted names. Everyone wanted confirmation. Through it all, Arionne maintained a posture not just of defiance, but of wounded dignity. Some of her statements cut deeper than insults. "You built your reputation on tearing mine down. You used my pain as your storyline. You forgot that I too am human." In an Instagram Live, she addressed silent collaborators directly. "You can't hide behind others forever. Sooner or later, all roads lead back to the one who walked the path." The moment was electric, as if the world collectively leaned in, waiting for the first crack to appear. As she released each batch of receipts, viewers began mapping the chronology: missed meetings, erased messages, whispered promises of inclusion that never came, and calls that went unanswered. Many believe she was holding back the worst for a final explosive drop, something that could burn bridges permanently. And perhaps she was. Through the scandal's height, tension was palpable, for Arionne, the accused, and the bystanders alike. Every wrong move, every misinterpreted caption could escalate the situation, and that was exactly where Arionne wanted the momentum. She held the narrative, dragging everyone else into her orbit. The climax came when she posted a raw video from a dimly lit room. Looking directly into the camera, her voice low but unwavering, she delivered her final warning. "This is my last warning. You have 72 hours to come clean publicly, or I release it all. Every call, every message, every moment you thought was private. I will not allow you to gaslight me, shift blame, or discredit me. I will not be the one they silence. This is your final chance." Social media paused. Commentators typed 72 hours in anticipation. Was it a bluff, or was it real? The next 3 days revealed just how much she held and how much fear her opponents carried. Some responded publicly, claiming partial responsibility while denying key allegations.
Others claimed they had been misled, while a few remained silent. Rumors swirled of hidden deals with lawyers, private settlements, and attempts to scrub evidence. Not all names were confirmed. Some receipts disappeared, recordings vanished, phones were wiped. And through it all, Arionne's message remained clear. She had more. Evidence that could not be erased. Truth in black and white. What she had done wasn't just exposure, it was reclamation. A reclamation of her voice, her story, her dignity. The emotional toll was evident. Arionne admitted to sleepless nights, to crying alone in her room, to waking in cold sweats thinking about what she would uncover next. She struggled with doubt. What if she were cut off or destroyed before she could finish? But every time fear rose, she posted, turning pain into fuel. To family and close friends, this was deeply personal. She admitted to worrying that she might embarrass loved ones or drag them into the chaos. She spoke of guilt and gratitude, of relationships lost and alliances broken, and of facing public judgment while navigating private betrayal. Her career teetered as some producers walked away and collaborations paused. As speculation mounts and theories swirl, one thing is certain. When Arionne speaks, the ground trembles. Her presence, words, and actions have elevated her from a background figure to a central force, shaping the narrative and keeping both cast members and fans on edge. The upcoming twist, whatever it may be, has the potential to redefine relationships, reputations, and power dynamics on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And when it finally unfolds, it promises to be more than just another headline. It could become a defining moment for everyone involved, cementing Arionne's place as a key player in the ongoing drama and reshaping the show's landscape in ways no one could have predicted. So, what's next for Arionne, Martell, and Melody? Will loyalty and patience pay off, or will manipulation and unpredictability continue to dominate? One thing is clear, the storm is far from over. As the tension builds, fans remain riveted, eagerly anticipating the next move, the next reveal, the next twist that could change everything. In the world of reality television, the game is always evolving, and right now, Arionne Curry is proving she's a player to be reckoned with.